I love talking to Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero, my hero, and I love, to this day, still love the Jeff Hardy dance. Do you want to rock out with me a little?
Sure,
Can we do
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy right here. This is the best.
That's called the juke, man.
It is. Okay, where did it come from? Break it down here.
Michael Hayes. If you watch old Freebird footage, you'll notice Michael Hayes would always go, before he made the tag, he'd go, and like moonwalk, make the tag. So it's a modified version of what Michael Hayes started.
Now, can I use this in the club? Can I smash with a dance like this?
Of course, yeah. Some good techno rock, man, yeah. Of course you can.
All right, I'm down with that. This guy's an artist, a musician. He's a Renaissance man. He's also got a badass face paint thing going on right now. With the eyes closed and the eyes, it took me like 2 weeks to figure out what was going on. What's this process like, man?
It's a lot of work, and I'm even, I think it's a modified Brother Nero because, naturally when Matt became woken, it was a little different than broken. So I think this is my version of the new Brother Nero, and it's going to only evolve more. But that's why I broke out the white contacts. I figure, why not? It's in WWE, I'm doing this paint, so I got 4 eyes, and so why not bring the white eyes out? It's not that easy to wrestle in, but I've been making it okay, 'cause everything is blurry.
No, the eyeballs on the eyelid is so inventive. I've never seen that. What's the influence on that?
I did it in a YouTube video years ago, just for some strange reason, and I thought to myself, wow, I should do this when I come out to the ring, just close my eyes, and I had this vision, and then I started doing it in TNA years ago, and like it was something that I would work my butt off every night, and do an Instagram picture to be different every night. So to be here in WWE doing it now, it's very kind of surreal to me, and the people are actually digging it. It's only going to get better.
Can you tell me the process? How long do you get help these days when you do a face paint like you do on SmackDown? What's that length?
It's all me, and I'm comfortable with having an hour, but I can usually get it done in 30 to 45 minutes. But I love taking my time. But like at TV, for example, it's so rough because you have to memorize stuff, remember matches, think about ideas, and then you fit time in there to paint your face and hopefully be proud of what you've done. And then I got to make time to go out there and get my Instagram video or picture just to capture the night.
Before it becomes obsolete.
Exactly, because it will if you don't, because it won't be documented. But anyway, it's just I have this weird image, and it starts with the color, and I have this design in my head. And the cool thing about it, though, is when I start, it always turns out completely different. And I always doubt until I give it a few days and go back and look at it. Okay, that was all right. Kind of like when I paint on canvas. I don't really like it at first, but it'll grow on me.
All right. Do you have influences? Because we know you and Matt, longtime wrestling fans. You got into the game so early. Was there face painters in the 80s that influenced you to want to do that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was a combination of Sting and the Ultimate Warrior. Like Sting at the time was in NWA or when it became WCW, and then the Warrior in WWE, and the Warrior was crazy, but Sting's would be different every night when he was the blonde-haired Sting, and that's what I loved about him. I was like, well, this guy's, how's he come up with these ideas? And I saw him one night in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the music came on. I reached out and touched him on the shoulder, and I'll never forget feeling like I want to make somebody feel like he made me feel, with that. And here I am, hopefully having the same influence on young, up-and-coming wannabe wrestlers.
Oh, I love Surfer Sting. Did you connect with him years later when you became a top-flight wrestler? Did you have these conversations?
Yeah, for sure, man. We talked about face paint. He actually tried to use the markers I use, and it didn't work out too well for him because it's very different. It gets very dry. But yeah, and we did a 6-man or something at one point, and I was the last one to come to the ring, and I'd been doing the eyes closed thing with the eyelids painted, and he said something like, "Kid, you have took my spot," and I was like, "What?" Ow! Can't believe I just heard that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it meant the world to me.
Final question on face paint. This turned out awesome, by the way. Finn Balor, I'm sure you respect game and what he's doing, the full body, the face when he does do the demon character. When you saw that for the first couple times, what'd you think?
Oh, I loved it, man. I thought it was crazy, especially with his entrance music is so rocking, man, and cool. And I still have this image in my head. We did a table for 3 a while back, and I was like, okay, before you're done, it's going to happen. The Enigma versus the Demon, all painted up. I'll go all upper body too. It'd be such a cool moment for the fans and the WWE universe.
You've had such a great legendary career, such different characters, incarnations. Dude, I'm not fooling around here. Willow still kind of gives me nightmares. That must have come from some kind of dark place. It's an amazing character. When I call up the YouTube clips, I'm like, oh, I don't know how close I want to go to that. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, Willow is, he is my the god of my imagination, the property we live on, like my little 5 acres of land or whatever, my motocross track, like Willow's the god there in some mad way in my mind. Like he runs the place. And it was very, Marilyn Manson had a lot of influence in Willow. Like I said, let me do some kind of dark black character and with the mask, and so a lot came from Manson, but I still see that happening in WWE before I'm done. But I got to break out the black wedding dress with the mask and just go all out. Those Willow promos were so fun to do, and I look forward to doing those again.
All right, in closing, people go a whole career to have one moment, a WrestleMania moment. To pick out the defining moment of Jeff Hardy's career, you can pick a few. What's the one for you? What's the one moment?
The one moment, it's got to be WrestleMania 33 when we came back to WWE, man. We were reconnected after all these years with the WWE Universe, and they welcomed us with open arms, and it was just, oh gosh. There was times before we came back that I thought it might never happen, but it did, and here I am, man. So yeah, I want to continue to move on.
My cameraman, Jamie was one of the many people in the crowd that night that popped. You got the biggest pop of the night. Was that the largest noise you've heard for yourself in a wrestling situation?
I think so, because those stadiums, you know, a lot of times it's hard to hear stuff. Like if you do a good high spot and like, what, did that suck? I mean, I can't hear no reaction, but we heard each and every sound that night, and it was amazing.
Considering you guys were wrestling for a different company that weekend, and you had a tailgate party before WrestleMania that day, and nobody was sure. I know the WWE cameras documented, but what's it like in your mind when you're snuck into the back of the stadium and you're going up the stairs, and you really don't know what the crowd's going to do?
It was, it was nuts, man. And I just remembered that Ring of Honor match the night before. Like, it was a lot worse than that match at Mania. Like, I took about 24 super kicks, went through 3 tables, I think, and I was all banged up, but not banged up enough that I couldn't perform. But no, it was just, I felt super good up there in that gorilla position. The main thing that made us very comfortable is everybody, Vince, John Cena, Shawn Michaels, man, they were just so glad to see us there. And it just, that right there made me feel great. And I remember I was yelling and stuff because I was so nervous, and Michael Hayes said, hey, why don't you try breathing? I said, good idea. So I started breathing, and it all worked out.
The cool thing is that every single WrestleMania seems to have one moment that defines it, that makes a poster in your mind. You think 33, we think Hardy's coming back. So congratulations on that, being back, being a single superstar again. It's great as a fan to watch that. Continued luck and health on everything you do.
Thank you very much. And we might do alter egos might be obsolete. It might be alter Neros. Ever thought about that?
Wow, Nero, my hero. I love
to say that.